The federal government on Tuesday announced plans to identify and shut down social media accounts used by terrorists and criminal groups in Nigeria. Director General of National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, said the platforms including TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and X have been used by terrorists to publicize operations and communicate with their supporters. Major General Laka also disclosed that some Nigerians are now staging fake kidnappings to extort money even from their own families.
We're talking about the population informing the kidnappers. When we are even having situations whereby people arrange with themselves to kidnap themselves to collect ransom from their families. You understand? I've seen situations whereby a boy arranged with his friends to kidnap him so that his father can pay the ransom. Some will even arrange them themselves. There are AI tools where you can change your voice. You say you've been kidnapped, ask for the ransom, you pay yourself, and then you reappear. So I think there is a need for us to resuscitize the population.
Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale links up with us now to discuss how this order may help in curtailing terrorist propaganda and the need for collaboration with social media companies to ensure its effective implementation. Mr. Sobowale, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here as usual.
So what do you make of this directive, and how can the government balance this policy with protections for free speech and digital rights?
I'm very happy with it. What I'm looking forward to now is the implementation, because in the implementation matters. You see, you have policies, you just only announce them in the media or in the newspapers. You must follow them through. Again, I will go to the US. The United States government, as powerful as they are teaming up with Elon Musk's X artificial intelligence and their own Department of War, to make tools and technologies that will secure America speedily and give them superior, what they call superior decision making against all their enemies. So we are starting at our own level. You see, I have to refer again to the budget speech by the president, in which he declared so many arms of violence and terrorism as terrorists. You get me? It seems at long last we are about to use modern tools and technologies to secure ourselves. I'm happy about it. I've never seen this director, this Major General before. We have always seen the National Security Advisor. Now we are going into a modern territory, or evolving a modern strategy to secure our people. Let us see the implementation, and I'll be quite happy with it. Let's leave it at that for now.
What's that, Mr. Sobowale? I remember a few days ago you were talking about how we want to see more of the digital technology being used to handle security. Now, of course, you're applauding what's happening on the online space.
Yes.
But offline, you've also mentioned that sometimes you get the what you sense is that you don't see the stomach to want to go to handle this terrorism with the fullness that it deserves.
And that's on the field.
On the field, yeah. Yes. So I'm saying in order to balance the pressure that you're seeing online, what do you want to see offline to make sure that we achieve the results that we're going for?
That's policy implementation.
Okay.
Policy implementation. That is, we see that we are defeating the terrorists. We are putting the kidnappers in jail. We are the marauders. They are being caught, prosecuted speedily, and they feel the impact of the law. You see, there was a debate about the death penalty.
Yes.
And I like the way our Attorney General defended it. That, see, if you kill somebody for an offense, supposing new facts surface, there's no way you can resurrect that person again. So that is why he's saying that they go along with life sentences. But then the problem with life sentences is that the jails are congested, and it is at the jails that people get indoctrinated. This radical Islamic terror, that's where we go to lessons in the jail with those who are there before them. So see, you have to weigh things and make sure that you implement the law with facts, not in such a way that you cannot redress. He has said that, and that is with regard to this death sentence to terrorists. These are punishments. These are implementation of policy. In the US, Trump is trying to do that, and is being taken to court every step of the way. Because he thinks where people attack government agencies who are implementing the law, then the federal government should come in and take care of that. I think Tinubu is starting at his own level too, by saying all these people that we cannot see out before, jihadists, and if you say Islamic jihadists before, you'll be in trouble. If you say Fulani husband, you'll be in trouble. But now, people are categorized and are identified, and they are being told that they use technology to track them and knock them off and make society safe. I'm happy with that.
But Mr. Sobowale, I'm wondering, what safeguards should be put in place to prevent the misidentification and wrongful takedown of legitimate accounts. For instance, those of journalists, activists, or researchers. You remember in the previous administration, some media reports on the activities of these terrorists were described as glorifying the terrorists. So in such situations, how do we prevent that with this new policy?
You see, we come to the dilemma over human rights and security. I've said it here several times. That's your freedom ends where my nose begins. You cannot say because of human rights you destabilize society. It's like a minister of information just said the other time. He said if a man comes in here and starts shooting people, you have to shoot him first because you can talk of his right. So you have to balance it. The West too is balancing it, and they have problems amongst themselves. The Americans are saying because the EU, they have put laws in place to punish with these technology companies massively, and then they happen to be American companies. So the US is accusing Europe of trampling on the human rights of its people. And the two are the champions of democracy and rights that we copy. So we have to evolve our own strategy so that we don't use human rights to castrate our total security and put our political stability in jeopardy. Yes, we have to balance it, and we are starting.
Mr. Sobowale, I think it was last week when Uni was also here, and he asked you about what would like to see like retaliation when we're talking about U.S. sanctions towards Nigeria, and you said might is right. Now let's talk about leverage. When it comes to, there's a reputation that Meta and X have that they are not too quick when it comes to responding to requests or government requests from developing countries. So tell us about the leverage that Nigeria has to ensure that there's swift action from these companies.
Yes, they are on our territory. Yeah. I think it was Buhari who dealt with them sometime and said that you cannot be operating on our territory, and we do. It is the will of government now, you get me, to implement its own policy. See, they should see it that if they don't do what government has asked them to do, there are consequences. You see, in Europe, Meta and all these big technological companies, they find a huge sum of money, and some of them have paid it. So you know how much money they make. A lot of money, but misinformation, disinformation, and slander and libel, they are more powerful now on these technology platforms than before. Before, it's only you read what you... But now, you heard what that general just said. They can put my head on your head and create whatever they like, including speech, put it into it. So the government has to buy technology, cooperate with technological companies to evolve a platform speedily that will secure the country. That's what the US is doing. And they are powerful enough to deter anybody. We should start our own too. It's not a matter of just dealing with this TikTok and all that here. We should evolve our own platform, team up with one of the technological companies to detect at source disinformation and misinformation and things that destabilize our society, while keeping human rights in mind, but we should not use human rights to paralyze our political system. Yes.
Very well said. Now, you talked about implementation earlier, and I know that already some analysts believe that it will be quite difficult to implement because they believe the terrorists can exploit aliases, unverified accounts, or encrypted channels, to evade detection and continue their activities online. How do you think the government can work around this?
We have brilliant people. Not all technology experts are criminals or on the side of the terrorists. All hackers. In fact, some companies, when hackers intrude into their system, invariably they recruit such hackers, you get me, to fight and protect their system. It's an ongoing strategic situation. And you see, you cannot sit on your ass because technology is evolving almost daily. Get me? Technology is evolving almost daily. So you think ahead, and I mean, we have a Ministry of Research, Technology and Innovation. They should keep us abreast of the modern trends and equipment, so that we don't say, like somebody accused the Minister of Innovation of saying that the terrorists have superior technology. They should not have superior technology. They don't have resources like we have, that the state has, to take on the state. So it's a matter of dedication and using the right leadership, using the right equipment, and the correct mixture of technology and strategy to make sure we detect these terrorists before they harm us. Let's leave it at that.
Mr. Sobowale, I think it's easier to measure, to list out metrics for success when we look at the offline operations. But what are the metrics of success in this particular case? How do you think we're going to measure if we're making any progress with this?
On the battlefield. Yes, at the end of the day, the defeat of the terrorists is the ultimate solution to all this we are talking about. America is flexing its muscle all over because people know it has ammunition. It has used tremendous resources to get things to defend its people and to frighten the Chinese and the Russians and whoever. We are said to be the giant of Africa. We should strive to be the giant of Africa in terms of technology, get me? And in terms of the way we deter our enemies, both inside and outside.
Well, talking about seeing results, offline, some people believe that taking this campaign...
offline? Nigeria. Talk your Nigerian territory.
Okay, Nigerian territory. Some people believe that taking the campaign online is a bit premature. That, the Nigerian government can start by actually, arresting, prosecuting, and punishing those that mastermind this criminal act. That will serve as a stronger deterrent, than actually taking the campaign online.
No, it's better you take the campaign. You see technology. Just like it can be successful at the speed of a machine, the same time, if it is negative, it can cripple everything you have built over the years just in one day. It's just like when they exploded the atomic bomb. Those they exploded it on said they will never fight anybody again, the Japanese and the Germans. Just until recently they started getting out. So you should be able to have technology equipment to deter and frighten the daylight out of your enemies. That is what is important. And at the end of the day, that is all this discussion boils down to. Knocking out the enemy. Yes.
Okay, since you mentioned knocking out, and I think we've done justice to this topic, tell us what you're going to do for us for Christmas. Knockout. We're finished. We're done. So to hand over, what are you doing?
Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sobowale. We wish you the same. Thank you very much for your robust analysis. We appreciate your time here on Newsday, Mr. Dayo Sobowale.